Hello and welcome to another gameplay episode with Eternal Witnesses. This time, it's just me, Dan, and I am playing Modern. So today we have a Mardu Blink list. Now this is a list that I have been messing around with for the past few weeks. I think that the combination of Flage and Arena of Glory is just so powerful. You see it a lot with the energy decks or with the Jeskai Blink decks. So I wanted to give it a try with some of the black cards. I like the power of Thoughtseize and some of the unfair matchups. You say only have two main and two in the side because they're not quite as good against some of the fair decks. We see the power of turn one Ragavan in the Jeskai Blink deck, so I want to give that a try here. With a little bit more of the resiliency that we see with the Felia Overlord of the Baelmerk Blink decks. So I want to bring that into a Flage deck and see what we can do. I also have Ketchermos here for another grindy engine with some cool cards that I just want to try out a little bit. So we have Detective Phoenix to go along with Ketchermos, also very good with the cards you're milling with Overlord of the Baelmerk. You have Solitude to get back with Overlord of the Baelmerk, as well as Emperor of the Bones as a recurring engine with Ketchermos. Our mana base is pretty standard. We have 20 lands here, 3 basics, 2 Arena of Glory. In our sideboard, we have 2 High Noons for the combo matchups. We have some White Orchid Phantoms for some of the land-based decks. We have Elish Nord for some of these Blink decks. We have Wrath of Skies and Pest Control for the Affinity matchups and any other decks that are going to go wide. We have Thoughtseize, again, for unfair matchups. Surgical Extraction, Nihil Spellbomb for some of the graveyard decks. And then Wear and Tear as just additional utility against some of the artifact decks, as well as the occasional enchantment removal. So here we go. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, round 1. Here we go. We are on the draw. We have a 4.5 lander, but we have that turn 1 Ragavan, so we're going to give this one a keep. So we don't know what our opponent is on yet. We have Solitude eventually once we draw a white card for some interaction. Arid Mesa, that could be Energy, could be Jeskai. Let's see if they have a turn 1 play here. We don't want to see an Ocelot Pride. Guide of Souls, alright. So now we have an option. We could just lead with this turn 1 Ragavan. It's probably not going to get in, but it could also just block this Guide of Souls. Ragavan, not usually great here because they typically have a lot of blockers. Another land is not really what we wanted to see. Alternatively, we could just surveil on one, looking for that white card for Solitude. I think I like just playing out this Ragavan. It might just eat up some removal, but we could also block this Guide of Souls, so let's give that one a try. Alright. So we played a Ragavan. Let's see if they want to trade off this Guide of Souls for this Ragavan, which I would definitely do. Windswept Heath. So our game plan is to exchange pieces, just cardboard pieces as we can, between God of Souls and Ragavan. They'll see if they let us do it. Goblin Bombardment. That's pretty good. Right now, it's not going to be as good unless they just want to trade the God of Souls, which we're down to do anyway. Looks like not, which is pretty good for us. A white card. Solitude's going to be a little worse now that they have the Goblin Bombardment out, but I'm okay just attacking with this Ragavan. We'll offer up the trade. With them having a Goblin Bombardment, I just want to have as few things for them to throw at us as they possibly can. I'll take that. I like just playing the Surveil land here. We're looking for removal spells and no more lands. That's a land. We don't want it. All right, let's pass it back. All right, so nothing here. We'll see if they maybe play a Fable the Mirror Breaker if they're playing that. Could just be a few more 1-drops. Hopefully it's not a Johnny. If it is, we'll have to Solitude it in response to the trigger once they sacrifice the cat token to Gobbo Bombardment. So because a flip to Johnny is going to be pretty difficult for us to deal with unless we draw Prismatic Ending. It's 3 white mana. Ranger Captain, interesting. So this is fine. That's fine with us. Of course, it's going to draw them a card or give them a 1-drop. They got a Guide of Souls here. But Ranger Captain, really, really fine to see. Let's see what we draw. Another Solitude. Not the worst. We'll just play out this Arid Mesa with the intent of surveilling and pass turn. So Ranger Captain would stop us from casting non-creature spells. At this point, we are not really casting any non-creature spells, so we're fine with that. But really just a 3/3 attacker is what we have to deal with here. So this is the first Modern video I'm recording for the channel. Let me know how it goes, and if you like it, comment. Say, hey, I want more Modern videos. I'm happy to do more Modern videos. Typically a legacy main here, but I do enjoy my Modern games as well. Voice of Victory. So this is a question. So once this resolves, there's no solituding for us. Right now we have to decide if we want to kill that Guide of Souls. They have 3 cards in hand. I think we're fine with just letting this resolve. That's what's our game plan now. So we can surveil in response, at least see if we know where we're going to draw. We don't have any main deck wraths. I want more white cards, so we'll go with the Raucous Theater here. Still look for removal. Flage would be pretty good here. Overlord's not bad. Don't want to land. All right, that doesn't give us a whole lot of information. Pinnacle Monk doesn't actually return anything right now. I think there's no reason to just Solitude in response here. Ideally, with this Goblin Bombardment out, it's probably just going to be waiting until we hardcast Solitude, because we don't want to 2-for-1 ourselves, Solitude something, and then they just end up throwing it with Goblin Bombardment anyway. But we'll see what we draw. Flage. Flage's not bad. All right. So we have 4 cards in our graveyard right now. With this Arid Mesa, that'll give us 5 cards for next turn. We have some choices. When they attack with with Voice of Victory, they're going to get 2 more energy. That lets them jump something next turn and puts us under a significant clock. We have the option of just casting Flage here, killing. Probably the Voice of Victory, I think, is the biggest threat. They'll end up just throwing it at us anyway. So that is the choice. We could aim it at there, they throw it at us, we don't gain the 3 life, or we could just Lightning Helix them, ensure that we gain 3 life. But I think I'm going to just make them throw this Voice of Victory at us. Because really, when they make the tokens next turn anyway, they're going to be throwing that at us, and it's like each one's doing 2 damage. So even if we don't gain the 3 life here, it's sort of like gaining 3 life because we're not taking the damage from the tokens or the Voice of Victories next turn. And then we'll just play out this Arid Mesa. I'm going to keep this Arena of Glory in hand with the hopes that I can get a Hasty Flage next turn. So like we said, they threw the Voice of Victory at us. Play this pass. Again, that Goblin Bombardment card's still pretty good, but they do only have 2 cards in hand. They did play the Encampment last turn, which they can make some Red Warriors. So whenever a 3 mana tap, whenever you attack this turn, create 2 1/1 Red Warrior creature tokens that are tapped and attacking, sacrifice them. So just another way that they're going to be getting some more More threats in, a little bit more energy, a little bit more life. A grindy card right here. Don't think they have any main deck ways of removing Flage unless they're playing. Like they might have Thraben Charm, but that just does damage to it if they have enough creatures. We'll have to keep that in mind. Let's see, is this whenever you attack this turn? So it can't make these on our turn, giving them enough damage to kill Flage. That will certainly make enough creatures. So now we have a choice. Do we care more about the Guide of Souls here? They only have 1 energy. This will give them 2 energy. Or do we care more about the Ocelot Pride? I think I care more about the Guide of Souls, as they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They'll have 8 permanents on the end step. If they play another land and attack, then they'll have the 10, and they can double the triggers that they get from these. So I think I actually do care about the Ocelot Pride here. You have to kill the Ocelot Bride before the end step. Let's see what they got here. Seasoned Pyromancer, that's going to be pretty good. Yeah. Got no responses. See what they discard. Hopefully it's just not a Flage. That'd be pretty good here. This does put them up to 3 energy, which lets them jump something this turn. They discarded a redundant Goblin Bombardment. Okay. They'll probably jump the Guide of Souls. So that asks us the question again. Let's see if what they jump. If they jump the Ranger Captain, I might just kill that. We'll see. Yep, trigger on the stack. Let's see if they target. So end of turn, they'll make a cat token, and then they'll make a cat and an elemental token. They do target Guide of Souls. I think we're going to actually have to go after the Guide of Souls here. They'll make a few more 1/1s with Ocelot Pride, but I think that's okay. They'll end up just throwing this Guide of Souls at us. So we'll take 4, go to 9. All right, so now we're going to have to figure out where we're going to point this Flage damage next turn. They drew 1 card. Did they not activate Goblin Bombardment there? Interesting. All right, we'll let Ocelot Pride make some tokens. We'll fetch out a shock land tapped. See, either way, we're going to have white, white, red, red, whichever fetch land we get. We don't. Let's see, the only black card that we really care about here is Emperor of Bones. Would need double black for. Overlord would need double black for, but I think it's just going to be Goblet or Godless Shrine here. All right, a white card would be pretty good. Mountain, not exactly what we're looking for. So our options are play Arena of Glory with haste. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 power and toughness. So if we haste Flage the first bolt at Ocelot Pride, attack, second one at face, because we kind of need the life. Like that. So exert, red, red, white, white. We'll leave the Solitude in our yard because we have Overlord of the Baelmerk and also Detective Phoenix. All right, so the first one, that's the question. So if I kill Seasoned Pyromancer here, they have 5 mana. They could just activate it next turn to get 2 more 1/1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Currently they can throw, or they do 7 damage to us with Goblin Bombardment, so we are going to have to gain life with some of these. Let's... This is going to be a tough one. So we might just be dead on board either way. We needed that white card, probably, but let's gain as much life as possible here. Because if we target any of these creatures, they're just going to end up throwing it at us, and we're not going to gain the life. All right. So next turn they attack. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then they throw the rest at us with Goblin Bombardment. I think we're just dead, so it doesn't really matter. But we can take the most damage off the board. So this game's probably wrapped up. Not even blocking. So they are representing 13 damage right here, plus the encampment activation. So definitely lethal on board. See if they attack all. Do. Well, that'll definitely do it. If they just flip this, I think I'm just going to concede the game here, go to the next one. Yep. All right, now we get to bring in some of these sweepers. So we have Wrath of Skies, which is going to be pretty good at dealing with those wide board states. Same with Pest Control. I don't like Thoughtseize here. Wear and Tear as well to deal with Goblin Bombardment, because that card is a problem. We do have the Prismatic Endings main though, and the Witch Enchanters, so unsure on Wear and Tear, but it can also help if they bring in Blood Moon. All right, so we don't want Thoughtseize here. I don't really want Detective Phoenix. Ketchamos can be a liability sometimes. Orcish Bowmasters, you can kill Ocelot Pride. So it's fine. Emperor of Bones is fine because it can kill Flage. I don't necessarily like Ragavan. As we saw there, the best it can do is trade off with a creature, but if they have an Ocelot Pride, then it doesn't even do that. We want to keep in all of our removal. Our game plan is really, if we can get an Overlord of the Baelmerk going, that would be ideal. Let's see, any other cards? So Nile Spellbomb, if we care about Flage a bunch, or Surgical Extraction for it, that's 2 options. I think with us having Prismatic Ending and Solitude, we don't care too much about Flage. I think we can just keep this Detective Phoenix in, go like this. Let's go to game 2. All right, on the play, our beautiful mana base coming out, this Pinnacle Monk just sticking to our hand. And Witch Enchanters, this is basically a 6-lander. If they just have more than 1 threat, this hand doesn't really do much here. We're looking for early interaction, and Solitude pitching Witch Enchanter is not really that type of interaction we're looking for, so let's mulligan. Alright, I like this. We have Unholy Heat for their turn 1 play. We'll probably stick a Surveil land at the bottom. We have Emperor Bones to keep their graveyard in check for Flage. Witch Enchanter as a pitch card for Solitude, or it can kill Goblin Bombardment if we get up to turn 4. This is the kind of hand we're looking for. The only thing it's missing would be an Overlord of the Baelmerk, which would be pretty nice here. But we'll see how this lines up. All right. Sorry about that. Paused it a little bit. We played our Blood Crypt, where we fetched our Blood Crypt. We're going to deal with this Guide of Souls. And then hopefully play this Emperor of Bones. We have an option of fetching lanes here to save some life. But, oh, I think I like playing Felly better, and I want to do it off of planes. We'll pass turn. See what they do here. Still have a ripe 7 cards in hand, playing a Surveil land. Oh, they have so many 2-drops. Just another Guide of Souls. That's good. They're not leaving up the 1 to deal with Arfelia. So I'll just get a planes here. Play Felia. Overlord of the Baelmerk would be our best draw. Well, sometimes you just have it. So let's do that. Solitude would be pretty nice here. Or Emperor of Bones. That's fine. I'm gonna leave this Witch Enchanter in our hand because we have a chance of getting Solitude on the end step. I'll just play out this Godless Shrine tapped. Ooh, here's a question. Do we want to pick up Flage or leave in our graveyard? If we top deck Arena of Glory, it's better if it's in our graveyard. Does leave it there in case they did bring in Surgical, but I think I'm just going to leave it there. A top deck Red Source would be great. They did Surveil Flage last turn. I missed that. Yeah, it's a pretty good Surveil. Basic Mountain. Discharge. I'm A-okay with that. Belia did its thing already, and if we get to attack with Emperor or Overlord, we could always get the Felia back. Unless they have removal for this as well. That's fine. Because Emperor, that's... Wait a second. They chose themselves as well. Exile any number of target players' graveyards. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Probably not. Alright. Wearenchar will be nice if they have a Goblin Bombardment here, but we'll start out. Well, there's not really anything for Emperor of Bones. We might hit something off of this attack, so we're not going to play it pre-combat. Ooh. Take the Solitude. Now we can do the old post-combat Emperor of Bones. And I'm going to leave a white open in case they play Goblin Bombardment or Blood Moon, but they're probably not going to play Blood Moon. Johnny, Celestial Purge. That is fine. We already got our cards off of Overlord, so we'll take it. The Arena of Glory, that would have been pretty good if they still had Flage in their graveyard. Alright. Don't mind that. Tear that on the end step. They have one card left in their hand. We have an Emperor of Bones. Ooh, Fable the Mirror Breaker is pretty good here too. We have an option. I think we just want to exile. I don't really want to get back a Bowmaster here. I have Solitude, Witch Enchanter in play. I think I'm just going to exile their Goblet of Mormont, keep their graveyard in check. Offer the trade, or offer a jump block. Oh, or click through my attack step. Either one. That's all right. All right, next turn we can discard this Emperor of Bones. Little land flooded over there. I think just the Emperor of Bones, this land, when we play it, will let us hardcast Solitude, which is an option to get rid of that Witch Enchanter too then. Yeah, let's do that. Prismatic Ending's pretty good here. This Pinnacle Monk, if we wanted to, could get back Wear and Tear. We'll just offer the trade here and continue to keep the graveyard. And I will remember to attack this time. I'm just going to leave up Hardcast Solitude here. Fetching. They just surveilling? Sure. Guided Souls into the yard. All right. Let's go to game 3. All right, so we're on the draw here. That doesn't really change anything for us. I still like the Wear and Tear there. Pest Control, still good. Thoughtseize, I don't think we want. Surgical, no. We're just going to send it back. All right, so that was the kind of game we're looking for. Just early interaction, slow them down a little bit for us to get our engine online. We obviously got that Failure Overlord combo, if you will. Love that interaction, just so much value. All right, so here we got Failure. This is our first appearance of Catchamos. We can see how that goes. Solitude's way of getting cards exiled. Failure can exile a card momentarily for the turn. Flage, eventually when you cast it from your graveyard, exiles cards. The only thing this hand is missing is a removal spell, but we do have Solitude. If it really gets out of hand, I think I'll keep this hand. I'll probably just go turn 1 Surveil. I really like playing Surveils not off of fetch lands. It feels a little bit like it's more value, because when you shuffle your deck with a fetch land and then you just surveil, it's kind of, you're just surveilling a randomized deck anyway, so it feels like it's not really changing what the outcome is, because if you put that card in the yard, then it's still a randomized deck. Even though there is a small chance it could give you information as to what you're going to draw, but I think when you play them out of your hand, that's where the true value is. So we'll just play that surveil land. Ephemerate. I like that a lot. That'll be really nice with our Solitude. We're going to have the choice of what to pitch with this Solitude. I'm not sure if Catchamos is going to get there, but it might actually be a Failure pitch. Failure wouldn't be... They're going to attack first to gain the life. Failure may not be great here anyway. We don't have that Overlord. There's not a ton of stuff in the deck that really is insane to blink, but when we do have a Solitude that we ephemerated into play, it'll be nice then. Let's see, I am going to Solitude Ephemerate on my turn, so it doesn't give them the option to like flip their Ajani. I'm just going to take out the two main actual cards here. So what do we pitch? So we have the option of pitching Felia, Flage, or Ketchamos. That is the question. Also, if we wanted to, we could do it on their turn and try to like just block the Ocelot Pride. That might not work out if they just play a Goblet Bombardment pre-combat or have any removal spell. I think I like just solituding here. Here's the question. I think it's going to be the Felia, because then next turn we can just play the Ketchamos. It's not online yet. But then, or we could play the Flage. It's probably more likely. And then we could Surveil on the end step. Have at least probably 2 cards in our graveyard. 3 cards when we ephemerate again. Okay. This Ketchamos is looking like it's probably not going to be huge this game. I kind of just want to see if the Ketchamos is good, so we'll pitch the Felia. There's my bias. But that's what we'll do. This is my first time trying it out in this deck, so mostly just want to see if it's good. All right, so we're doing good so far, controlling the board. See what they have for response. We saw Celestial Purge out of them last game too, which makes Ketchamos a little bit worse. Not going to trade with this Cat Warrior. Surveil. Ooh, that would have been good with Felia. But I think it's pretty good with Flage too, so I'm going to put that on top. Take one more of your creatures. Let's start with Overlord. Like Boggart Trawler. Alright, we'll play this tapped Godless Shrine and pass turn. Boggart Trawler, pretty good way here. Yeah, that's fine. That's a Celestial Purge they're not going to use on Ketchamos, and we already got a card out of it. So it's a good old-fashioned 2-for-1. Boggart Trawler will exile a few cards here. Let's see if they just hit a natural Flage off this Surveil. They left it on top. Key. Gotta be a good one. Alright, so our game plan is just probably just play Boggart Trawler next turn. I have that encampment again. Legend of Roku, that's fine. Let's see what they exiled. So the Ajani and Ocelot Pride are what we killed. So they hit Flage, another Legend of Roku, and a Sacred Foundry. Hitting a second Legend of Roku is pretty good there. So that is more cards in exile for our Ketchamos. So who's really winning? Not going to attack. Ooh, Arena of Glory. So that is a choice. They have 2 cards in hand. They have a Flage, a Legend of Roku, Sacred Foundry. They'll probably just play the second Legend next turn. We could play Flage here, Flage the cat, attack them for 3. That sets us up for Arena Flage the turn after. We could Arena in a Ketramos right now because it is a creature. When they inevitably play cards from exile, it'll turn it off of a creature again. We're not actually drawing anything. I think I like just getting Ketramos on the board here. I'm not going to haste it in. Don't think. Well, not using this Arena of Glory next turn anyway. It's protected from Flage. Yeah, let's try that. Play this Bloodstained Mire as a land. Oh, we played the Arena of Glory, right? Just swing in. Gain some life here, which would be nice. Next turn, we're probably going to play this Boggart Trawler. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana next turn. Thankfully, that's one short of being able to play Flage and play it again from the graveyard. Which is why I didn't worry too much about Boggart Trawler. It's only 1 mana, right? Yeah, add 1 mana of any color. Fine. And then it returns into a 4/4. It makes 4 mana. And dragons. What do I do? I assume they'll just block the Solitude here, but maybe they'll take 7. It's taking 7. Fine with that too. Add your mana. They did have the Arena of Glory. Another Legend of Roku. They're leaving that Flage exiled. But they had Ocelot Pride, Voice of Victory. Land. See if they play Voice of Victory here to be the most mana efficient. Sure. Discharge. Ocelot Pride. Right. Fine. Take 1. 5. If 5 lands, they'll make another mana. 6, potentially 7. So that's enough mana to play a Flage out of hand. All right, let's start by drawing a card when we exile their graveyard. It's pretty good. Got a red, white, black. We'll get Godless Shrine. Exile their Ocelot Pride. Draw another card. Unholy Heat's pretty good here. Back for 4, gain 4. Keep the engine going. Unholy Heat can take out the Legend of Roku. Plus, eventually we have Flage to try to finish the job. So, I believe they have Voice of Victory Sacred Foundry from their flips last turn. We're at 9. Voice of Victory is fine. Wasn't going to cast anything anyway. Flage. Using Pyromancer. Discard a card, draw 2. Cards land. No tokens for you. Goes to 8. Alright, so on my turn, we try to Unholy Heat, Avatar Roku. It is legendary though. So I could just play Flage on Voice of Victory and then wait for them to flip it and lose one of them. Detective Phoenix. Alright. Pretty close to dead. What's the plan? What's the plan? So I like playing Flage this turn to give us access to Hasty Flage next turn. If we play Flage on Voice of Victory, that's the most toughness. Kitchener is indestructible, so it's kind of a free attack anyway. If we don't kill Roku, then we can't attack with a Bog or a Trawler. I only have 4 minutes left too. This. Back for 4. Could have attacked with Phoenix, but this is flying? No, it doesn't. It just makes flyers. That's fine. Trade some creatures off. We'll let their Roku flip. To make sure we kill it before they go to combat. Actually, if we just kill Guide of Souls here, well, if their last card is Goblin Bombardment. 2, 3, 4. I'm just gonna kill Guide of Souls, stop them from gaining all this life. Sure, you can make a dragon. All right, so we have Hasty Flage next turn. And I could also leave Bestow Detective Phoenix. That's pretty good. Start with this. give this blank. I don't need to sell that land. Draw another card. Value. Attack. We got there. Nice. Round 1 in the books. 1-0. Let's go. All right, round 2. Let's go. One lander, mulligan. Two lander, Thoughtseize into Thalia. Keep it, put the extra Thalia at the bottom. So if our plan is to go turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 pass, play Thalia, turn 3 play Ketchumos, attack with Thalia, draw a card. What lands make sense for that? So I kind of want to fetch basic planes on turn 2, which means I want to go to 15 and hope it's not prowess. That is our game plan. We'll take a look. Take a look, see. What do you got? Amulet. Ooh, okay. So they got Razor. We are so happy we thought seized. We're going to take the Amulet of Vigor. Vexing Bauble, probably not going to do too much against us, which is awesome. They'll probably just play Saga. Pass turn. Oh, come. What are you doing up there? All right, so we know that one, we know that one, we know that one. So they did not play Boseiju Arboreal Grazer into Saga. They wanted to get out that Vexing Bauble first. And by yes, pass turn. Sound like we have something, or we could just go down a turn because we don't. Arboreal Grazer. Sure. So they don't have. Ooh, Ragavan's not bad. What's the game plan? Probably just draw some cards. Ragavan. I could dash Ragavan, exile Grazer. Play Ketchumos next turn. But then I have mana to play Ketchumos and dash Ragavan. No cards in exile. I think I like that, seeing what they draw. Well, we're going to have to draw some cards to get out of this. We're going to need to draw a Solitude or the other Thoughtseize or Prismatic Ending. There's not really many draws out of their deck, but sometimes it is nice to just remove win conditions from their deck. I think I draw a card with Ketchumos too, so let's just do that. Let's just play Ketchumos. Want to draw a card? Sure. That lets us Solitude if we draw it. Probably should have flickered my Ketchumos there so I have a 3/3 so that next turn they can't block very well. That was a mistake. Oh well. And we also don't draw a card because I target the Vexing Bubble. But Solitude be nice next turn. So now they have an Amulet. They'll have that Crumbling Vestige. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana at least. Two more. I'm just splunking. Okay. Forest in play. Beiju. So we are just waiting until they draw. Second Ragman's not what we wanted. Let's surveil first. Off of the white surveil land. Don't want to land. Dash Ragavan. Exile our Ketchamos, which I believe does draw us a card. Probably block Ragavan here, take 2. We'll have a 3/3. If we had a 3/3 this turn, it probably would have been a little nicer. But well, draw. Done it. Ragavan's not really what we're looking for. Got Amulet of Vigor. Yep. 4 cards in hand. One of them's a Crumbling Vestige. Oh, that's going to do it. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, I believe. I'm not going to make them play it all out. We'll just see what lands they get real quick. We are very dead here. Just see what they get. Double Amulet. 2 Ragavans, not really what we want here. Ragavan's not bad in the matchup, but Arboreal Grazer certainly doesn't make it as good. Alright, let's go to the next game. Alright, so we've got quite a few things here. First we have Thoughtseizes. A little interaction, hopefully, maybe takes an Amulet. You saw there, they have so many redundant Amulet type effects. It can only really slow them down for so long. Elishnorn, if you ever get 5 mana, can be good. Hard to get 5 mana, but we'll see. Wear and Tear, good against all the Amulet type effects. You could bring in Surgical. Surgical, I usually don't love on its own. We do have Thoughtseize, so like there's potentially like Thoughtseize, a Titan, and then Surgical it. We'll see. White Orchid Phantom, I like a lot. Wrath of Skies is pretty good. I don't know if I want all 3 or just 2 of them here. We'll see what I actually have to bring out first. All right, so it's all about interaction here. Orcish Bowmasters, Emperor of Bones is too slow on the graveyard. I'll keep Ragavan in. Take out a Unholy Heat. So we have Solitude too, but they'll probably bring in some of those other green creatures, like the 4 mana one that lets you, like Crucible of Worlds creature. So sometimes it's nice to have a little extra removal in the deck for them. I think Fable's a little bit too slow. Detective Phoenix is a little bit slow. Flicker Wisp is actually fine. We can exile or bounce some of their bounce lands, which is kind of cute. Prismatic Ending is pretty good here. Potentially we could take out a land, so I could see taking out like a Plains. Let's see what else we want. Ketchamos, probably a little slow here. So that leaves us 1 more card. We can probably take out another Emperor of Bones. Game plan is Velia, White Orchid Phantom. Try to just blow up all their lands. See if that's good enough. Put a little pressure with Overlord of the Balemark. Let's see if that works. Do we want this Surgical Extraction? I think with so many, like we have Thoughtseizes, Wrath of Skies, which White Orchid Phantom. Is there a card that it's better than? It's not directly in our game plan, like maybe against the last Emperor of Bones. Yeah, let's go. We'll give it a try. We'll see how it plays this game. Maybe next game we come back and we take it out. We would love to play. Yes, please. All right, so our only interaction is turn 3 Wrath of Skies. If 1 land. Technically 2 lands. We could play Overlord of the Bailmerk on 2. We have a Solitude. I don't think this is going to be anywhere good enough. We're looking for Thought Seizes, Prismatic Ending, White Orchid Phantom, turn 1 Ragavan. I'll keep this. I don't think Flage is really going to be... Maybe we take out a Flage next game. We'll see. This is an interesting spot. We'll probably... Alright, so we want to play this turn 1 Ragavan, and we need white mana. Arena of Glory, awkward with White Orchid Phantom. Hopefully we draw another white land. Alright, let's see how quickly they can kill us. Ideally, they just play like lands, Vial, or Amulet, and then we can just Prismatic attack and maybe flip a Amulet or a Titan or something that can help us out. Blade is not really what we want. Let's see what we flip first. Because I may want to just play White Orchid Phantom off of the treasure here, but probably not. Ooh, that's a pretty good one to flip. I think I still would rather just kill this Prisma, or kill this Amulet of Vigor, slow him down for a turn, play a Reign of Glory pass. Second one. Ooh, that's a pretty good target for White Orchid Phantom. Rumble, that's pretty good. They get Primeval Titan or 6. Other choices. My guess is we'll take 6, but we'll see. Unless they have a plan for us next turn. So our plan, probably White Orchid Phantom. This, we could also Flicker Wisp it, which could be pretty good. They do have a blocker now for Ragavan, which is not great. All right, so they took the Primeval Titan. What do we want to do? So we could White Orchid, Simic Growth Chamber. We could Flicker Wisp it, which makes them just bounce it back. I think I don't love that as much. We could also like Flicker Wisp this Eldrazi spawn, but I don't think that's as good. We'll just sack it. That lets us get another treasure, but if we had a land in hand, maybe we can do that because then we Flage it and then we play White Orchid Phantom, but oh, no blocks. I'll take that. What do we get? Rumble. Rumble could be pretty good for us. So we could do White Orchid Phantom and then play Rumble, or play Rumble first. Let's play Rumble first. Ooh, Solitude. And Witch Enchanter. A lot of good choices. Or just land. We're definitely playing White Orchid Phantom here. And might be the call. Witch Enchanter gives us an out to Amulet. Solitude. They didn't pick up the 6, so they have... I think I'll just take the 1, 2, 3 treasure next turn. This is a tough choice. I think I'll just take the Solitude. Then play this. Does give them basic forest. That's all right. Definitely slows them down. Next turn, if they... I guess a reason to take some of the white sources is that it lets us play Flicker Wisp next turn on White Orchid Phantom, but they showed us that they didn't block last turn. I think they have... Oh, Splunking? That's fine. The Witch Enchanter would have been nice there, but they have so many redundant types of this effect that it's hard to really keep them off of it. This is nice because they don't have a blocker or a Ragavan, so we get another treasure. Echoing Deeps, copying Growth Chamber, bouncing Haywire Battlement. Let's see if that's what they want to do. We also copy our Marsh Flats. Goblin Shrine. Probably won't do that. Copying nothing. Okay. Start with attacks. Do have a little bit of a clock here, which is a good place to be. What do we get? Not casting that one. So our options are play Overload Lord of the Baelmerk, get back Witch Enchanter, play Witch Enchanter as a land, Flicker Wisp, Overlord of the Baelmerk. I think I like doing that. Play as land. Yes, bolt myself. Yes, play Flicker Wisp. All right, now we got some real damage on the board. Ooh, let's take Pinnacle Monk. This lets us get back Prismatic Ending, Wrath of Skies, or just Ephemerate. Ephemerate and Pinnacle Monk are pretty fun together. If you ever get that combo going, it's sort of like in Legacy, there's like Eternal Witness, or I guess Modern too, Eternal Witness, Ephemerate, fun little piles. So you get to Ephemerate the Pinnacle Monk, pick up something, and next turn when you rebound Ephemerate for Pinnacle Monk, you get to pick up the Ephemerate again, so you get a little loop going. And each turn you get a card back. All right, making some mana. Primeval Titan, that's fine. See what they want to do here. They know about this Solitude in our hand, so it's only going to go so far. Or what the best time actually interact with Titan. I don't know if they're just going to get... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to get here. Let's find out. All right, they get Jukabog, Shifting Woodlands. They have no mana floating. 2 mana here. Play their land drop. Sure. We certainly don't want to Solitude with Jukabog on the stack. Royal Grazer. That's fine. It is a blocker, which is kind of a bummer. That's okay. What do you got? They don't have a Delirium currently with 3 types. Picked up Pachuca Bog. We don't need a Solitude now. We could Solitude on our turn. It's the same. Let's see what we draw first. Overlord. All right. Start with the Solitude. Lets us buy it back when Overlord attacks. So we have the option of attacking with Overlord, getting back Solitude, Solituding a Boreal Grazer before damage, and then we hit with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Puts them to 10, and we really have our shields completely down. Otherwise, they block here. They take 7. I think we're going to have to do that. Yeah, let's do that. Solitude. We also could have like flaged a Boreal Grazer. That was probably fine. Then we play Pinnacle Monk and then have Hasty Flage next turn. Yeah. Seiju. Right. We hit Flage here. Puts us in a good spot for next turn that they have Boseiju in hand. I think our options are Solitude or Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp lets us bounce their blocker for next turn. We have 3 cards in hand. One of them's Bojuka Bog. Take Flicker Wisp. All right. What do you got? They know our hand. Let's see what they can do. All right, they're doing some math. Tapping their lands, untapping their lands. Complicated deck. Makes sense. Bojuka Bog us, sure. Still only have 3 types in the yard. Boreal Grazer. It's fine. Uva. What is that going to... Turf? Pick up a Bojuka Bog again? Okay. Let's give this guy haste. Is that it? Do we got it? Let's see if they have Boseiju here. That's still 10. Looks like we got it. Nice. What do we see? We saw 6. We saw Rumble, which is also fine with Surgical Extraction. Still not enough that I want Nile Spellbomb, though. Don't mind the planes. Pest Control is an option as well. Might like Pest Control here. Or a Flage. Let's do it. Pest Control, obviously not good with our own Ragavans and Treasures, but let's see. All right, so we have Solitude, we have Felia Overlord. We don't have any interaction for their actual Amulet. If they have something like a Vexing Bauble, that could really put us in a spot because our Solitude no longer interacts. At least not really something when you're opening hand. I would like this better if we had a Thoughtseize, Prismatic Ending. I think being on the draw of the sand's a little too slow. All right, we have a 1-lander, but it has Ragavan. It has Ephemerate Solitude. There's White Orchid Phantom. Let's keep. I think our game plan is not going to revolve around Overlord of the Baelmerk. I think White Orchid Phantom Ephemerate Ragavan is our game plan here. Do they have... Okay, Boreal Grazer into a land. That's going to be good against our Ragavan. That'll be good later. Here's a monkey. We got that 03 blocker. Big booty. Probably not getting through it. See what they got. We have the option. We could. Ooh, 6. Okay. I like that. That gives us Solitude Ephemerate. Makes that a little bit better. Not going to attack with our Boyo Grazer. What do we want to pitch, though? Probably this Wrath of the Skies. Let's do that. That was pretty good for us. It's a good spot. This Ragvan's going to help us keep up in terms of mana until we draw some more lands. We had a Rumble we can't cast. We do have Tear Up if they play Urza Saga. Okay, Jugabog, that's fine. I'm not going to target anything here. All right, we got Felia. I think I like Felia. Felia will keep flickering our White Orchid Phantoms. Scape Shift, another good one. Alrighty. Keep it coming. This is where we want to be. We're gonna page you something. What do you got? Nothing. Unholy Heat, probably pretty terrible here. But Wear and Tear will be good. And Escape Shift is pretty good there. They probably have like a Primeval Titan in hand. Just looking for some sort of amulet effect. If they just play like a Splunking here and pass. Which would be kind of nice because then we could just tear it with the trigger on the stack. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage, which is currently a 3-turn clock. If we draw like a Flayed or something, I can turn it into a 2-turn clock. But we have Felia, so I guess it's 7 and then 9. All right, attack. Ooh, I will take that. Yes, please. This is nice, because this means that they can't act anymore. We can still play Felia. Was a solid one. All right, here we go. Let's see if we're dead. We do have Wear Tear up. They don't know they're dead, which is going to be helpful here. So they might end up passing the turn thinking they have one more draw. Ooh, that looks like that might be what they're doing. All right. Nice. Let's go. That was a tough one. We got there. 2 down. 3 more to go. All right, round 3. Let's do this. All right, we have Terminal Ragavan. We're on the draw. Only a 1-lander, 1.5-lander-ish. Maybe 1 and 2 halves, which is not quite 2 in my book. We have Terminal Ragavan, turn 2 Emperor of Bones, turn 3 Ketchamos, drawing card with Emperor of Bones. This is going to be really painful. We do have Flage to get a little bit life back, but with Ketchamos also doing us damage. This is going to be a tough one, because we also have to get a black source with this Bloodstain Mire. So we kind of have to bolt ourselves here on turn 2. I think we'll keep it. We'll give it a try. See what happens. See if Ketchamos can really carry us there. We don't have Solitude or any of the cheap interaction to help us bridge that gap. Energy again? Energy again. All right. How does that change things? Ragavan just got a lot worse. Thoughtseize is not amazing here. But I think I want to go Swamp Thoughtseize. How bad is Swamp? Swamp? Oh, we don't have Swamp. Never mind. We're not Swamp Thoughtseizing. Because Swamp is bad with Flage. So we would have to Bolt Thoughtseize, go to 15 with the hopes of taking like a Goblin Bombardment. Other options are just play Pinnacle Monk as a tapped land pass. Getting... I would probably play Bloodstain Mire and then Surveil. Yeah. Let's do that. Green of Glory. Johnny. Okay. We are under a lot of pressure here. Let's see, we will surveil with the black-red surveil land. Raucous Theater. We wanted a land. A tapped land is not what we wanted. What does this let us do? This lets us play Ragavan, play Surveil Land, go. Is that what we want? Probably actually is better to Thoughtseize, because if they have Goblin Bombardment and they just flip this to Johnny, the game's over. I don't think tap land is what we want. I think interaction like that is what we want. Let's start with the Thoughtseize here. Land, this is a pretty good hand. Raven Charm, sort of removal here. Fable, see some Pyromancer. These are pretty redundant here. I think we take the Fable. I am going to... This is tough. I kind of have to kill the Guide of Souls, because if they just play... See some Pyromancer, get 3 energy, swing out. I'm in a pretty bad spot. Johnny's pretty good here, though. Yeah. Yep. Ouch. Alright. Don't draw Goblin Bombardment. We did need that Unholy Heat, though. That will help slow them down a little bit. So what's our plan next turn? Probably just play Emperor of Bones. Ooh, I drew a Ragavan. Alright. Love a Solitude. Fable the Mirror Breaker. I'm at 8. Don't mind. They have a monkey. It's pretty good. They just... We could play Ragavan Emperor of Bones. They Thraben Charm. One of them. Dash Monkey. We block with the other one. Yeah. That's fine. See if they throw and charm this now. They might. If they do that, then they're not exiling our graveyard for our Fleege. All right, we got 2 blockers. They have at least one removal spell in their hand. Their other cards are Seize a Pyromancer, the Sacred Foundry. There's 2 unknowns in hand. A dash Ragavan. I'm blocking the Ragavan. It is not a mouse, or not a cat. Listro mouse. It's a monkey. Does not flip a Johnny. They just play Ragavan here. Unless they drew Discharge. Be pretty good. Choosing not to cast it. They could exert Arena of Glory, cast Ragavan, discharge one, Thraben charge the other, still have 5 damage, and get another treasure. I think that's probably their best play if they drew discharge. They play non-hasty Ragavan. What does that mean? Are they just going to play Season? They're going to flip their Johnny. Okay. Do 2 damage to me or to... Sure. Right. We're going to play Flage and kill this Johnny. Was good for us, gives us a little bit of a buffer. We have a land, we can't attack. We'll fetch the other Surveil land, which will give us white, white, red, red for next turn. They already cast their Thraben Charm, which puts us in a good spot where they can't exile their graveyard for Fleege. When we do that, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Exile, I believe. Petramos. Okay. Discard 2, draw. Must be 2 bad ones. Ragavan, Voice of Victory. Drew Plains. Alright. I'll trade with your Ragavan. Oh, did I? Oh, I forgot that I surveilled it into the yard. That's fine. That gives us options then. So we just need a white source. I think it's probably Godless Shrine. We have 2 red already. Yeah. Blood Crypt. Start with Fleege. Did I miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's... This cat. Did draw Arena of Glory, but they did not discard a Fleege. A 5 mana Fable. They're playing 2 Fables. I think the list earlier was not playing any Fables, so interesting take. They play 2 Fables here. haven't seen a Goblin Bombardment yet, which is exactly what we're looking for. I'm not drawing Goblin Bombardment. Ooh, what does this mean? Does this mean Thraben Charm? Thraben Charm would kill this anyway. Does this mean they just want us to block this? I think we have to block it, right? Is there any... What else would it mean? 2 mana. Like Thraben Charm kills us anyway. Sure. Let's see what they got. Nothing. Well, I'll take that too. Alright. Play... Witch Enchanter. Disenchanter. I would like 1 Fable, please. Thank you. Right, and I also want your Goblin Shaman. Alright, we're looking to be in a pretty good spot here. Maybe they can make some 1/1s next turn. They have 1 card in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're still off of Play Flage. Cast it from the graveyard. And we got there! Let's go. Game 1. Alright, let's see what we did last time. I don't quite remember. Pretty sure these Thought Seizes came out. Maybe the Emperor... Oh, and the Ragavans came out. We brought in Wrath of Skies, Pest Control, Wear Tear. Look at that mapping. It's like I planned it or something. Purely a coincidence. Let's go. Game 2. We have early interaction. We have Solitude. We have Pest Control to clean up the board. Keep it. We have the combo Arena of Glory Flage, which thankfully our opponent did not have last turn or last game. Guide of Souls. I will play Blood Crypt and, well, we have an option. So I could let them just hopefully play more into this Pest Control, and just play the Surveil land. I think I'm going to do that. Let's see what they do. All according to plan. Maybe they'll play an Ocelot right now, too. Ooh, yeah! Opponent assembled their combo. We have the combo breaker. Pest Control. Nice flying creature. It would be a shame if it were a pest. Now, I do have a disclaimer here. I do not think cats are pests. I have 2 lovely cats, and they are anything but a pest. But Guide of Souls, they might be a pest. All right, so we want the red-white. We have black here. Actually, we don't need to get a Surveil land. Like if we got just black-white and then played Plains, then Pest Control. But I think I'll go get red-white Surveil land here. More creatures in the yard, or just more cards in the yard is kind of what we're looking for. Oh, look, another one anyway. And all the pests, please. Thank you. All right, they have 3 cards in hand. We have 6 cards in hand. I like it. This is where I like to be. See if they have something like a Fable the Mirror Breaker or nothing. Even better, see if they crack that Sunbaked Canyon. All right. Let's just play Emperor of Bones. Put up on Holy Heat or Surveil Land. We might have like a removal spell or a Thraben Charm or something, but it's fine. 1 Ocelot Pride, please. Three mana, Flage. That is a-okay with me. Hmm. Interesting. It's also a white card, which might be nice. Probably just going to cast each here. We have enough cards in the graveyard already. I think I like this. I'll put that on top. I kind of need a white card. So we'll just play, we'll hide the Arena of Glory. So we'll do Lage holding up red, white. This might be a little bit aggressive. Like, we're not really under any pressure here. We could just pass turn. They're not anywhere near casting their Flage. We could have just waited until they played out a creature here, but they haven't done anything the last 2 turns. They waited for Flage. Something to hit Flage with. They just passed the turn before that. I don't think they have creatures they're just going to play out into a Flage. Flage, that's fine. That's pretty good. Thraben Charm. That's a reason not to do that. We'll just sheepishly play this Arena of Glory. And pass turn. We can hardcast Solitude now, which would be nice if they have a fetch land or another surveil land. Fetch land it is. Got double planes. So that could be Blood Moon, but we have the basic planes in Tear, so I'm not too worried about that. Question here is, do we play Solitude to exile their Flage? Or do we play Felia and then Solitude on our turn, attack with Felia, exile Solitude to get a little bit more pressure going? I think this is going to be a short game. I think I'll just play the Solitude. Well, if we draw Overlord, we're gonna wish we had the Felia in play. It's also not bad against Flage. You can just flicker it and it goes back to the graveyard, but it will do 3 damage when it comes back down. Do we want to haste it? If there's any reason to do that, is there? No, because we're just going to exile it anyway to put another counter on Felia. So it's not a 2. Alright. Oh, actually, I think we probably should have hasted it. It doesn't really make a difference. Oh, Felia being a 2-2 and a 3-3. I guess there's 2-1 cats that would be nice if we didn't just trade with. There's a reason there. Discharge is going to kill it anyway. Tapped. And Roku. 6 mana. Breath this guy's for 4? Oh, because they already have 2 energy floating. That's fine. 2 cards in our graveyard. We have 1 card in hand. We do not have any more fetch lands. So this is 3 cards. I think we'll just play fetch land pass. I tapped again. Okay. He's in Pyromancer. It's a pretty good draw. Another card. I would have loved Rakish Bowmasters here. Interesting they brought in Wrath Disguise. We're at 12. That mind. Thank you. do not think we need to Unholy Heat this yet. This is the 4th card. We Unholy Heat now. I guess that was the reason on. If we Unholy Heat there, we could have played Blage around Thraben Charm. Not around Thraben Charm, but they could have just responded to the initial casting. But I will Unholy Heat this. We have 3 cards in hand. I'll let them play cards post-combat. No plays. What we were looking for. Let's see, red, 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 white, white, red, red. I want to mess this up. If they respond with a Thraben Charm. Searchable. I guess I could have. No, I probably would have purged initially. An interesting time to do that. This does give us a little bit of a buffer in life, which is great here. An Overlord off the top would be great. Solitude's pretty good here too. Still have 3 cards in hand. I suspect some of them are lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could be Flage and Arena. Probably not Flage then. Lands. What lands do we have? So we have another Godless Shrine. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Kill the Goblin. Godless Shrine. The Goblin Bombardment in response. They still got the City's Blessing, but they don't get to do any shenanigans. That was good. All right, so yeah, that's fine. Removal spell, Orcish Bowmasters. Okay, so if I cast this now, I kill Ocelot Pride, it flips a Johnny. Well, maybe it flips a Johnny if they want. Then I could attack and kill the Ajani. All right, we look to be in a pretty good spot here. Unless they draw Flage, but they don't have a Queen of Glory. Let's go! Boo, boo, boo. 3 rounds down. Let's keep it going. All right, round 4. Let's keep the ball rolling. So we have a ton of early interaction, Overlord for some value. I love this hand. I'm all about this. All about it. We'll keep her on the draw. See what our opponent is playing against. We played against 2 energy decks. Cavern of Souls. I'm intrigued. Eldrazi, Vexing Bauble. So we have a choice. Choices. Do we want to Prismatic ending the Vexing Bauble? I think we do before they can crack it. We will get... So our plan on turn 2 is to play Black Spell. So turn 1 white, turn 1 2 black. Then we can get a... Well, either way, we're going to have to shock ourselves again if we play Ketramos. So let's get the Godless Shrine here. I don't think... Not sure exactly what this is yet. It could be... Ooh, more Eldrazi. Second Vaccine Bauble. That one's fine. Didn't really care about it anyway. I just kind of wanted cards in my graveyard. Oh, now I care about it. They can crack it. Just gonna keep bolting myself. We want double white in case we hit Flicker Wisp and red. Overlord. Flicker Wisp would be pretty sweet here. We also need to draw a land for that. There's Flicker Wisp. Maybe we'll just sacrifice this Vexing Bauble. They haven't seen the Solitude yet. They can suspect there's likely a Solitude in our deck. What are you going to accept here? Null Drifter is indeed an Eldrazi. A 7-drop, even if it's only ever cast for 3 mana. Okay. Might be a little painful. Taking 4. We only have 3 types in our graveyard, unfortunately. Land would be great. One to just cast Flicker Wisp. But, well, there we go. Okay. Should have been more specific. All right, let's play this. Maybe we'll, if we hit, we have, let's see, a creature, a sorcery, and a land. Or lucky. We hit a creature. Already had that type. I don't think I need another white card. Let's put that in the graveyard. Is there another Eldrazi that we are going to want to Unholy Heat? I don't think there's really anything. I don't think they're cracking this Vexing Bauble. I think we just need to... Well, what I could have done... No. I was thinking I could have cast Overlord. Maybe hit a Witch Enchanter before playing this land. But I think the chances of actually hitting that are pretty low. Plus, we would have to hit a Pinnacle Monk and bolt it in. So that would be very painful. We only have 2 cards in hand. Can't all be bangers, right? Interesting. The next turn, our plan is just to play Flicker Wisp on an Overlord. I kind of like getting this Witch Enchanter back. See that? Vexing Bauble. A little bit of a damper. Our fun over here. Wastes. Basic land, waste. Blue, white. That is dead. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is exactly dead, and we cannot do anything because we have Solitude and this Vexing Bauble. All right, quick game one. Maybe they won't have two Vexing Baubles next time. We'll see. We'll see. This is going to be a tough one. All right, so these white Orchid Phantoms are pretty good here. We did most of the damage ourselves that game. That's interesting. This is Eldrazi Aggro, which I have not seen a whole lot in Modern. It could just be what I tend to play against, but I do see it in Legacy a decent amount. But let me see if I can find some sort of list here. Yeah, usually they're Eldrazi Tron, but that does not look like that's what this person's doing. They're full on Reality Smasher, feature facing Eldrazi, broken cards. I can't even find a list. All right, well, we're just gonna have to go off of our gut here. I don't think Orcish Bowmasters is the answer. I don't think Thoughtseize is the answer. We may see a Chalice of the Void in our future. Ragavan might be interesting in the play, but I could see that being pretty bad. Emperor Bones may be okay if we have a Solitude. Petramos, if we get it active, is a 4/4. Honestly, not a ton anyway. Potentially Wear and Tear. Wrath of Skies, I don't think so. Their mana values are just so high. High Noon isn't going to be it. Best Control, probably not it either. Mouse Wobble, not it. Alright, so maybe there's just one more card we can cut here. I could see maybe on the draw we take out these Ragavans. I kind of like them right now. Let's see. Potentially it's Fable. Overlord Solitude's what we got to keep going. 58 seconds. What are we doing? Let's take a Emperor of Bones out. Submit. Yes, I would like to play first. We have basic lanes. This hand is great if we had a black source or a red source to go along with our basic lanes. We just have two white sources. I don't think this is going to be what gets us across the line here. Would have loved to, well, all right, so we have White Orchid Phantom, Ephemerate. Maybe that'll be enough. I'm gonna put this Emperor Bones back. And Surveil. Take the red-white Surveil. See what our opponent does to us. Chalice on 1 would be a little bit of a bummer. But they have to be pretty lucky to get a turn 1 Chalice on 1. Would need a Labyrinth and a 7-drop. But it happens. Temple. Vexing Bauble? Sure. Probably play 4 of those. Right, let's Surveil. I'll take this white source so I don't have to bolt in this Witch Enchanter, which I'd rather use to destroy a Vexing Bauble. Let them get their waste. Next turn we can either play Fable or we can Ephemerate or White Orchid Phantom. Ephemerate a little bit worse because we don't get the backside when with Vexing Bauble here. But it still gets the job done. 2 mana for Eldrazi spells. I think we're just going to play Fable. Let's attack first. I don't want to save this Ephemerate here for when they have another Soul Land, another Eldrazi Temple. Ideally, a Labyrinth with something underneath of it would be pretty nice. But developing our mana with Goblin Shaman, Not bad. Ooh, if they put something underneath of it and tap it, that's what we're looking for. Ooh, nothing underneath of it. Just 3 mana. Line breaker, sure. We do have 3 colors next turn to exile this. We also tapped out of Sacking Bauble. That's a choice too. I think we're probably just gonna Prismatic End to that. But do we want to discard anything? I don't like a lot of these cards. So our plan this turn is to Prismatic End, Line Breaker, Ephemerate after combat the White Orchid Phantom. I think we can discard Witch Enchanter. Do we need Marsh Flats? Rather hit bigger. Ooh, that's pretty good. All right, we'll go to combat first. Alternatively, we could play Overlord of the Balemark, though I could hardcast it next turn, and then Prismatic Ending this Vexing Bauble, hoping that Overlord of the Balemark hits a Solitude. But or we could play 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. Just Prismatic Ending this. I think that's just the safest play. White, black, red. Done. We'll hold up Ephemerate. If we don't use it, then we can hardcast this Overlord next turn. Second waste. 5 cards in hand. Eternal Scourge. That is a food chain combo card. Interesting to see it here. It is a 3/3 that blocks our 2/2, most importantly. If we really wanted to, we could ephemerate this Reflection, get another 2/2, but I don't think that's going to be as relevant. Did leave up to crack this Vexing Bubble. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was silly. No, never mind. I was thinking that I could have cast it with haste this turn, but I needed the treasure. So I could not have. We're good. I'll get this Witch Enchanter at least back. I'll leave Flage in the yard. Definitely get this Witch Enchanter and play it as a land. I'll play it untapped. I'm at 13, but that leaves Ephemerate on Overlord. In case they have some shenanigans like Dismember. Temple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. There's not enough yet for Sire of Seven Deaths. When you cast a spell, you may pay 2 if you gain control of target creature. No, thank you. I'll take a Felia. Serum Powder. That's pretty cute with Eternal Scourge. Nice. All right. Match tied, game 3. What did we see there? We saw another Vexing Bauble. Still pretty aggressive. They just seem to not hit some of their aggressive draws. Do we want Wrath Disguise? Again, probably not. Thoughtseize might be more appealing here. The draw, I think Ragavan is not amazing. I could see Ragavan for Thoughtseize, potentially. White Orchid Phantom was good. Emperor of Bones was not that good. It's all Flage, so they might bring in some graveyard hate here. Let's do this. See if that helps. Game 3, big money, all overlords, Solitude, Unholy Heat that may or may not actually get turned on. But we do get to mill with Overlord. Maybe we'll hit a white card, maybe they won't have Vexing Bauble. We don't have Thoughtseize or a 2-drop. We'll keep it, see what happens. I just really like Overlord. They have Devourer of Destinies to get to sculpt their first draw a little bit. We'll get to see what they exile. Old Drifter, Serum Powder, Cavern of Souls. They have not actually used the Serum Powders as far as I'm aware. I could have missed that, but I don't think they have. So, which is pretty good, because if you don't use it to get free mulligans, it's just a bad card. So hopefully they just draw Serum Powders. We saw one exiled, and if you play one, you probably play 4. We'll just play Fetch Land Pass. We'll Surveil if they do nothing. Unholy Heat probably won't kill anything. But they don't have the right mana. They also didn't have Vexing Bauble, which I love to see. We're looking for Solitudes. Because they didn't have Vexing Bauble. We'll just play probably Bloodstained Mire. Could play Arena Glory, take less damage. But we're going to have to fetch black next turn anyway, so it's going to be painful. So if we're doing it anyway, we'll just play it now. If this is Line Breaker, I will just Solitude it. If it's Reality Smasher, comes... I think this is only spells. Yeah, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, counter that unless they discard card. Conveniently enough, Solitude is an ability. This puts us in a good spot. Have 5 life, please. White card would be pretty good for us here. All right, so we want white-black. White is more important for us, and we need black for Overlord. Yes, Felia. Ooh, that's pretty good too. Is double White Orchid Phantom better than just getting a Solitude back? That is the question. We saw they have at least 2 wastes in their deck. I think I'm going to do the Overlord. I think that's a little bit stronger. All right, we got the combo going. We will take another white card. Probably another... Don't have another land. I'll take another White Orchid Phantom. It's fine. They know we have it. We'll end up pitching it. They think we won't have it, and then we'll play that. All right, what do we got here? Eldrazi. Obviously, they still have 5 cards in hand, so they could take command for 4 right now. They could be setting up Okay, command for 5 next turn. But what we're going to do is destroy some of these temples. Take a Witch Enchanter. It's another white card. Is it worth playing this as a... We hit Fleet, so yes. Self-awake. Keep on going after their mana. We could go after the Caverns here, make them not have colored mana, but I think I'd rather go off of quantity of mana. Yeah, there we go. I'm sure they have plenty of ways of getting colored mana. We still have Delirium here. We got here Smasher. Sure. We'll Soul to that one too. All right, so we have 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, plus 6. That should be lethal. Let's go! Let's keep it rolling. That was a solid, quick round. Blade was very powerful. We saw White Orchid Phantom Failure just control the board. Got that little combo, Overlord Failure. I liked it a lot. That was good. Let's keep the vibes going. All right, final round. We've got turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Overlord. What's not to love? It's got everything. We'll keep that one. We are on the draw, but that just gives us more information and an extra card, so being in the draw is great. Let's see if we can finish this league out strong. I will admit, after round 3, going 3-0, I had those little dark chocolate cups you get from Trader Joe's that have peanut in, like the peanut butter cups, dark chocolate. They are so good, and I think that's really what's powering me through this. So, shout out to peanut butter cups. All right. Against Tron, Thoughtseize is exactly what we want here. That's why we have it in our deck. Our life total probably not going to matter so much. So let's get maybe black, white. Yeah. The old modern start at 15. Good luck. Wow, that is a hand. That's the almost Thoughtseize proof hand. We don't want to see that because that means they're just going to draw gas. The old natural Tron, and they drew Mindstone. That's fine. All right, so we're going to play Mountain Overlord here. And hopefully not miss. I'm going to catch a miss. I'll take it. All right, so they played a mine. Power plant, tower. 8 mana. Did they draw Straker? Okay. As far as draws go, not the worst one. Drawing card. Drawing a card. All right. Bogart Trawler, not terrible here. So what we could do is we could either Overlord hoping to get a Solitude, we could play Fable to fix our hand next turn, or we could play Ketchamos into Bogart Trawler next turn, which turns on Ketchamos. Does it? It's 5. Does not yet, unless I play Arid Mesa that puts 6 cards in the yard. So a little short. But it draws us an extra card. I don't know if that's strong enough. I think it's just Fable here. Hoping to draw something. Well, I think we're going to have to be aggressive. So we're looking for like Flicker Wisp. There's only one of the Thoughtseize in the deck. Kind of need to be moving forward here. I think it's going to be Fable. So Overlord gives us the most outs at like a Flage in our yard, which is going to be the best clock we have. That's true. 1, 2. We hit both Arena of Glories. Let's see if we can a Flicker Wisp that we can cast next turn. We hit Solitude. Take it. Then we'll surveil. Yeah, the long game is not typically somewhere you want to be against these big mana decks. Draw anything like that, then we're in. I think I'm okay just taking 2 here. I'm more scared of something like a Sire of 7 Deaths. We have enough white mana. Raucous Theater. Witch Enchanter. Thank you. Ragman's pretty good here. Our options. Play Ragavan, play Ketchamos. Okay. Dash the old Ragavan. Something good. Karn. Devourer of Destiny. Fine with them not having that card. We'll play Fable here. That gives us, so we kind of need a white card for this Solitude. Haven't hit. Oh, that's a lot of mana. So, fun little fact about me, I have never beaten Ugin Eye of the Storms in my entire life. So, what could go wrong? Don't have any pressure. We milled both of our Arena of Glories. We have life gain and card draw. I think this game is over. Yep. Here's a matchup where we do miss the Consigned to Memories not being blue. But we're hoping Thoughtseize can get us there. It's not quite the same effect. A lot worse against this Ugin card. Bleach would be better if we had haste. Our options are just play Flage. Well, we could Solitude, Glaring Fleshraker, pitching Catchermoose. We could dash Ragavan, attacking. Just only when it hits a creature, yeah, or player. Attacking them, they probably just block. And we play land, Flage, Ugin. Hope that next turn we can play Flage again from the graveyard. All right, see what happens. Sure, it'll all work out. We just have to gotta keep attacking. Probably block. No really difference there. White, red, colorless. Oh, no. Oh, thought I clicked through my main phase for a second. See what they can do. Got this Ugin that can pretty much exile anything that we play. So playing Flage is, well, that actually kind of helps. So we're at 13. We play Flage and dash Ragavan. Well, I guess we don't have to play 5 cards in hand. They probably have Kozilek's Command. It's just dash Ragavan, attack them with both, play Flage from the graveyard, attempt to Ephemerate Flage, dealing with Ugin. We have a game plan. Alright, so that'll be, oh. I am planning on this treasure, so if they Kozilek's Command this treasure first, I'm in trouble. And I need to do this. White, red. So they didn't Kozilek's Command it. I guess if they had Kozilek's Command, they probably would have exiled. Interesting. Do not block the Ragavan. Because you have Kozilek's Command? Dismember? Sure. Alright. Now this is going to be kind of painful because we're just going to lose the Flage again. Alright, so white, red. Exiling these lands. Maybe they'll like respond to this trigger for some reason. They have Kozilek's Command. I think we're just dead anyway. Like they didn't. They do have 4 cards in hand. All the mana in the world. Surely nothing can go wrong. We got it. I believe in us. We have the power. Oh, I have another again. Never mind. I don't believe in us anymore. It was, yeah. We'll see. To a Karn. Alright, yep, this one is very over. What are you getting? Let's find out what they get before we concede. This is another matchup where we have those white Orchid Phantoms in the graveyard or in the sideboard, which should help. Hopefully, they got a Tormod script. I'm just gonna go ahead and pack them up, pack them in, bring in Thoughtseizes. Thoughtseize, White Orchid Phantom. Wrath of Skies, not so much. Elishnorn, not so much. Most of them are cast. The Ugin is cast triggers, not to the battlefield. High Noon, they only need to cast one spell. Surgical is something when they have Thoughtseize, but I don't think it's much. Ragavan's pretty good here. Unholy Heat is not. It kills Blaring Fleshraker, but they have so few creatures in their deck that between, like with the Solitudes, I don't think we really need so much removal in our deck. Prismatic Ending, another one, probably not great. They might have Vexing Bauble in their deck. Go sideboard. Let's see, what else could they have? Potentially like a Chalice of the Void, Snaring Bridge. We do have Witch Enchanters to deal with some of that. I like Detective Phoenix, I like Fable. Let's just try this. I think Prismatic Ending, we'll see. Orcish Bowmasters is probably not amazing. They don't have like the One Ring anymore, so let's keep one Prismatic Ending in. Well, I guess Unholy he could also deal with Planeswalkers. I didn't think about that one. We can Unholy Heat a Karn, potentially. Even one Unholy Heat. Prismatic Ending. I'd love to be on the play. I'd love to see a Ragavan. So this is probably going to take an Ephemerate. A very slow hand. I guess Ephemerate's pretty good with White Orchid Phantom. So mulligan. This is so close. Look at all these beautiful cards without any lands. All right, I'll take it. So we have our Felia Overlord combo. We probably don't need Emperor of Bones. We'll keep this one. We'll put back... I actually want to keep Surveil Land here because I'm going to play it on turn 1. I don't want Emperor of Bones. And then this gives us all of the colors we need. So we can put this back. See something juicy. We saw Dismember game 1. So this family may not live, but at least when you... Ooh, I like that. That I do classify as juicy. That is a juicy monkey. If they do kill Felia or Ragavan in this case, we can always play Overlord and get it back later. Let's see. All right. Do we want to dash this Ragavan or hold up Felia? I think that is an interesting question. So they played Sire, or they put Sire underneath the Ugin Labyrinth. They have 2 mana. They did not cast a Mind Stone or something like that. Probably have a Dismember. Better to make them cast Dismember on their turn, and then if that works, I could always just dash Ragavan on my following turn, and then Overlord. I have to use this Witch Enchanter as a land. I kind of like that. Trinisphere. That's fine. One thing about that is I can just exile it, Felia, and then play this White Orchid Phantom and kill that. Like where we are. We do see that, so that is something to think about for Prismatic Ending. I shock this in, then I can play Ragavan, play White Orchid Phantom. And then that Sire is gone. Yeah, they have a basic. Now you have a Trinisphere. 3 mana. What would you like to do with your 1 spell? Cast Dismember? And 4 life? Elia is fun. Ooh. Also command for 1 and make a Eldrazi spawn. That is fine. I've liked that Ragavan though. He was my friend. So we could make Ragavan at home with Fable the Mirror Breaker. We could just attack, exile, Eldrazi spawn, deal 4 to them, put them to 14. I like the idea of just repeatedly flickering White Orchid Phantom and then just playing Fable the Mirror Breaker. So I think we'll start with there. Plus that makes this a 3/3, which is always nice. I could also miss it now, but I could have Impending for 3 and then flicker that, but just aggressively going after, I don't know how many ways they play, but we're going to find out. Aggressively going after their mana when they have Trinisphere out. It's a fun game plan. I'm gonna have to tower here. How many wastes you got? No more wastes. I like that. Oh, they have a swamp in hand. 3 mana expedition map. Sure. I will see. They'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. No, thank you. But I like my spells. We have all of our colors already. Black, black, red, red. Let's get black, red. And cast this 5-drop. That is 3 mana. Works with Trinisphere. We would like Catcher Mouse, please. And I would also like your Urza's Mine, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. Got him. Got the lock going. If they have land, Kozilek's Command on Felia. Nope. They have Concede. In sideboard. They decided Trinisphere was the way they want to go. I will put Wear Tear as my counter to that. Prismatic Ending is the other option here. I think I still like Ragavan, even on the draw. We just need to be a little more aggressive. Emperor Bones is underwhelming. Potentially that's an area where we can play a Prismatic Ending. I don't want to be too reactive, though. We really need to be pretty aggressive. So let's put an Unholy Heat there. We maintain some artifact removal, a little bit of Planeswalker removal. Prismatic Ending. No, I think this is it. I think Pest Control is interesting. We could like kill a bunch of Eldrazi spawn or something, but fun with this. Submit deck. We're looking for turn 1 Thoughtseize, White Orchid Phantom, Belly Ephemerate. We have Thoughtseize, and we have White Orchid Phantom. Those are the words I said. I'll keep. This will be a start at 15 game, and then quickly go to 13. But Thoughtseize is nice here because then we get to like kind of see the lands they have. Pick which ones they have less of, ideally. They exiled Power Plant, so they have 3 Power Plants in the deck, and K Commands. So that's got to be a pretty good one. They exiled a K Commands there. We could just like... No, never mind. Where's 2 mana? I was thinking the Tear part is 1 mana, but it's only for enchantments. Alright, so we have to get white here. So we will get Godless Shrine. And Thoughtseize. Cannot Thoughtseize at the top of their deck. Oh look, our favorite card. Ugin, Eye of the Storms. We have a second Thoughtseize in our hand, which is going to be pretty good for that. We saw the exile to mine. They have another mine. And Ugin's Labyrinth. So next turn, we'll just play White Orchid Phantom. Wait for them to crack their map. And blow up whatever they... think. So we'll take Ugin. That is the only way we can deal with that card 1 for 1, is if we Thoughtseize it. I kind of want to just Thoughtseize again. Like, the guaranteed... Let's see. The Exile Power Plant. They may just have Power Plant in hand. If they exile Power Plant and they already had mine in tower, right? Yeah, mine in tower, then there's a good chance they just have 7 mana in hand. And if we leave them with just Devour of Destiny to cast off of that, that could be okay. So alternatively, we play White Orchid Phantom here. We blow up one of their lands. They go fetch one of their lands again and play it, but they don't have either. And then next turn, we can Thoughtseize and play Felia. Okay. Don't love White Orchid to that. We'll try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Get a plains. The exile. The power plant. And your tower. Tower destruction. They got another tower. We'll have 1, 2, 3. And that's okay. That's a card that Feli is actually pretty good against. Okay. So let's start with a Thoughtseize. That's fine. They probably kept the Dismember on top, which is interesting. Play this, and I'll play Feli end of turn, then I can always wear that if I want to. Next turn. Exile your Devourer of Destiny. Sure. 1 card in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a Glaring Fleshraker. Am I going to go to 9? I think I am. I need red. Well, I could just get Mountain. No cards. Mountain. Emperor of Bones. That. Yeah, let's just get Mountain. That's good. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start here. We'll do this. Go to combat. I don't want to well, they have Kozilek's commands. Just do it. Oh. Clicked through it by accident again. I think I need a threat. That was a mistake. What I should have done is exiled this and then flickered Emperor of Bones with Ophelia. So that Ophelia is 3 mana. Or 3 power. Second. Alright. So we can wear this. We're offering the trade here, but I think that's fine. Yeah, definitely getting punished here for not having a 3/3 Ophelia. Probably going to block here. Yep. I'm going to play this as a tapped land, so lets me play Overlord of the Baelmerk next turn. Oh, look at that. That Overlord card. Any reason to play this pre-combat? No, I don't think so. I could. They're at 6. I could Overlord, try to hit or get Felia back. That leaves me with a flash threat, and they have lethal on board anyway. 5. Let's just put a 5/5 into play and make them deal with it. We only have 4 mana. Get back Felia. We're looking pretty good. And we got there. The 5-0. I love it. That is beautiful. Beautiful to the eyes right there. All right. I'll be right back and we'll talk about the deck a little bit. Alrighty. So solid league, 5-0. Love to see it every single time. Let's see what did well, what didn't do so well, where we can iterate in the future. So to start off, as an archetype, big fan of this, all about the value. We saw the power of Flage and Arena of Glory there. Definitely the Ragavan really outperformed. There was a little bit there where I wasn't sure if Ragavan would be great. There's some matchups, like against the Energy matchup, that Ragavan not so great because they have a bunch of chump blockers, but we saw against some of the big mana Eldrazi decks, the Titan decks, Ragavan is just huge, being able to get us into that late game, give us a little bit of mana with those treasures. hopefully disrupt the opponent a little bit by taking some cards that they need off the top of their deck. It was definitely a solid. So I think I'm going to stick around with that. Some cards that underperformed a little bit. Emperor of Bones wasn't amazing here. We didn't really get the quote unquote combo together with Ketchamos and Emperor of Bones. Ketchamos itself was fine. Uh, a lot of times it was stuck in the hand. I would either cast it or pitch cast it to Solitude, or was kind of the last card that I would be casting because it was the least impactful. When you don't have a deck that's specifically dedicated to Ketchamos, that doesn't have those Relic of Progenitus to always have 7 cards exiled by the time you're on turn 3 and drawing a bunch of cards, it's a little bit lower impact. That being said, I did really like Detective Phoenix, so there's a window there where Ketchamos is not as prevalent there. Like maybe take the Ketchamos out, but leave a Detective Phoenix in. I could see that, especially with the Overlord of the Bailmark. That was solid. Big fan of Flicker Wisp. I always like that card. I am down at 3 Felia just because there's so few actual cards you want to Felia here. You don't like Flage, Ragavan, like a lot of these other cards. Emperor Bones is fine, but there's not like a Quantum Riddler or anything big. So in that spot, we just have the Overlord. Even Solitude, you're not really Feliaing it a whole lot. So I think 3 Felias I'm still going to stick with, but overall, I am definitely impressed with the deck. I didn't get to really see the power of Pinnacle Emissary in those late games where you could buy back an Ephemerate or buy back some of these other spells, but I'm gonna keep it there. Gonna stick with it until I can really see the power of that card. Overall, as it's been tried and tested, we know Flage is good. Keeping that around. I like the way the deck is structured. I really like this Orcish Bowmasters. I'm going to stick with at least 1. I was up to 3 at one point, down to 1. We'll see what those numbers look like in the future. But that being said, great league. Thanks for joining me. If you want to see more modern content, go ahead and leave a comment, subscribe. Definitely going to be doing some more of this. We'll do some modern, some legacy. If there's a specific deck that you're just dying to see, let me know. If you like seeing the top decks, or maybe it's just you like seeing a little bit something that's not quite as popular, or some slight changes of what I think could be good, let me know about that too. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.